Hi, in this video we are going to repair an Athearn S-12 locomotive, and here's the box. And I was running it and it was working fine, and all of a sudden it quit working. And here's the model right here, switching loco. And I took it apart and I noticed I took the shell off, which just involved prying it apart at 2 points on each side of the locomotive. And here you can see there's a little tab right here on each side, and I just pried that apart with the using the screwdriver, and pried one side open and then the other, and that's how I got the shell off. And I noticed that this wasn't making contact right here. This is like bent down too low. So just to initially fix it, it would just be a matter of bending this contact piece up so it would make tension on this piece here that goes down to the trucks. And anyway, once I got it apart, I thought, well, heck, I might as well lubricate it. And so in order to do that, this here, the truck unit, has to come off. And I'm just bending this over to the side gently, and then this cover over the tower pries off pretty easily. And I'm just using the little screwdriver here, and this will expose the worm gears. But let's get this off of here. And it's just the cap, it's just the cover that goes over the worm gear mechanism. So I'm just getting a little screwdriver in here, and I'm just going to pry that off gently. There, come on, there it goes. And here's that piece, and the worm gear and everything popped right out. But yeah, here's the worm gear that was in there. Here's one of the bearings right here, and then this is like what I call the U-joint here, and that's what goes into the drive mechanism. So anyway, that has to be taken apart in order to take the tower off, and just pry together those two little ears, and then this will come right out, and that's the front trucks. And this can be further disassembled using the same screwdriver and gently prying apart at a couple different points here. And again, I've had several of these apart, and it's pretty sturdy stuff here. The first time you do it, you might feel like you're going to break something, but it's just a matter of prying off another cover plate. And here I just mistakenly, that thing popped back on, but so I just get the pliers, the screwdriver in there, and I just pry that off gently. And then I get behind on this other side here and pry that off, and there we go. And then we have the cover, comes right off, and then that exposes all of the gears. And on many of these Athearns, the gear is just broken. On this one, I know there's nothing broken because this was operating just fine. Other than that contact being bad. But I'll just use this to take this off just to show you how this goes together. And I'm going to go ahead and put now you can clean these off in rubbing alcohol. However, these don't look too bad, but I'm going to go ahead and put a drop of oil on everything here, just one drop on each gear mechanism. And I can also put a drop on the wheel bearings, which is this square part right here. And because the wheel's going to turn around inside of that, so I don't know if you can see that, but I'm getting the drop of oil on there, and I'm working it around a little bit. And you do not want to over lubricate this mechanism here. So just one drop there. I'm putting a drop on the gears. I put a drop on each of the other gears, and then this piece can just slide right back in. And the only really reason I took that out was just to show you how easy it comes apart. And had the gears been broken, there would have been a little crack in here that may have been visible, and that often causes problems. But that's an easy fix because Athearn makes a repair part, replacement part for that. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn the whole gear mechanism here and let this oil get worked in a little bit. And yeah, see, if I hold the sidebars here, I can run these wheels and all the gears are going around, and we want everything just lightly lubricated. We do not want to over lubricate anything here. So that's good to go, and this can just be popped right back into place, and it goes in a lot easier. There, just snaps right in, and that's the cover, and now that's all been lubricated there. And like I said, that could have been taken out, and you could have used some of this 91 rubbing alcohol on that too. So that's all ready to go, and I'm going to take a little of this rubbing alcohol, and I have a little bit of a soft cloth here, and I'm just going to go ahead, and you could also use a cotton swab for this, but I'm going to clean off this contact here using the alcohol and the cloth. And there, wow, that really cleaned up nice. And then I'll clean off the bottom of this one too, while we have this all apart. And I'll just do that by rubbing it back and forth gently. So that's done. And then now I can put the, now I think I want to put the worm gear back in. And you know, I don't have to lubricate this yet. In fact, I think I'm going to just go ahead and I'm going to slide this whole mechanism back in first, and then I'm going to put the worm gear in. So this just push together on these two ears, and it just slides right back up in, or even just rotate it a little bit and get it back up in there. And this actually goes together real easy. And so we get it lined up here and there it goes, and up, and there it snapped right back into place. So we got that part done, and I'm going to, I can already see the oil on there, so we're not gonna re-lubricate that, but I'm gonna put a drop of oil on these other square bushings, these brass bushings here, one on each end, and then just work that around a little bit. And then I'm going to go ahead, and this is what I call the U-joint. Slide the U-joint back into place, and I'll have to just use the screwdriver to get it to line it up. And then these square bearings just go right back into that little slot. Now that was something that had come out there, and that's okay. And I think I'll go ahead and I'll put a drop of gear lube on that, or the oil on there. And you could also have used like a grease for that. And the fact that I use this, it's not going to last as long, but I don't have any grease, so I'm going to use what I have. And then this cover that I had kind of had some difficulty getting off. Now this thing, just make sure and line it up centered, and that thing just snaps right back on. And there we have our that whole outfit is together, and the thing goes around just fine. And next thing we're going to do is we're going to put this back on, and this is the contact, this here, and this is the metal contact. And I'm just going to take the rubbing alcohol and wipe them off a little bit and make sure that it lines up the same way. The long one goes back. And then I'm going to just add a little tension to this, because this has to pop up a little bit and rub against the bottom of that other piece. So there we go. I think I'm going to clean that off a little bit. There we go, and we'll get that on there. And I guess I kind of bent it to get it out, so we'll just put a little tension on. And I think I'm going to clean that off a little bit too, the bottom of that, as long as we got it. everything out. So, and make sure that that's gonna be it. Some tension going on there. And there we go, and that goes back in there, and everything lines up, and there should be a little space between the flywheel and the metal contact, and this should be some pressure on there and there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just see if we have some action here, and I have a transformer, a DC transformer, and I'm just going to touch it to the wheels and we'll see what happens. There we go. There we go, just like new, everything works. And we'll just go ahead and snap this back on and make sure the tabs line up. And here's the hole. Here's the hole and here's the tab, so that was the wrong way. So we'll get the tabs to line up right here. And then I just use a little screwdriver and get it off like that. And make sure that it goes over the couplers. There, it's snapped on, snapped on. We'll put it on a little piece of test track here. And the wheels could also be cleaned with this alcohol. And anyway, let's see what happens here. There we go, and everything works. And there is our repaired S-12 locomotive. Oh, I just broke my thing right off, my wire. So it's Murphy's Law, everything always seems to go wrong when you don't want it to, but let's see. Okay, well, I can't even get the screw out of the transformer here, so there we go. I like to have things screwed down really good, and then sometimes it'll come back and bite you, but we'll just put this back on, we'll get that screwed in, and we're going to get this test good here. Hopefully this doesn't take too long here. Back it up a little, got the throttle on, got the power on. There we go, finished product. Thanks for watching and have fun with your hobby.